Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not move past this message. I am not asking for your attention today. I am absolutely warning you. What you are about to hear was sealed until this exact second. If you swipe away now, you will forfeit the exact vindication you have been crying out for while the enemy laughs. Lock your eyes on this screen. This is not a coincidence. The algorithm absolutely did not bring you here. Heaven intercepted your feed because you are standing at the threshold of a massive timeline shift. The enemy is screaming at you to leave. He desperately wants you to get distracted and close this video. He knows this revelation will permanently destroy his hold over you. Welcome to the sanctuary, dearly beloved anointed ones. Someone who treated you as completely replaceable is currently experiencing a massive internal system crash. Nobody has ever seen them act like this before. It is not happening in private, behind closed doors. It is a very public and irreversible collapse unfolding right now. Buckle in, chosen one, because what you are about to hear is not just a theory. It is a specific and undeniable X-ray of the absolute meltdown happening in their life right now. They walked around with absolute arrogance for years. They constructed a false narrative about you and whispered lies to anyone who would listen. They truly expected your departure to break your spirit. They waited with bated breath for you to fail. But instead, you became the one uncertainty they were never built to handle. And now, the very people they used to gossip with are watching them unravel. Their mask did not just slip. It completely shattered into a million pieces. Now let us go deeper. What you are feeling is not just stress, because there is a physical reason you have been carrying that heavy weight this entire week. Listen closely, because this is the exact part the enemy tried to hide from you. That suffocating feeling sitting deep in your chest is absolutely not random. You wake up at 3 in the morning with your jaw tight. Your heart is racing in the dark. Their face keeps flashing across your mind like a cruel movie. Listen to me very carefully right now. That is not anxiety, and you are not going crazy. That physical weight is your highly advanced spirit detecting their panic. Your physical body is absorbing the frantic energy of the enemies who just realized they permanently lost access to you. They are starving for your light, and the spiritual backlash of their hunger is hitting your nervous system. Stop wondering why they act like nothing ever happened. Stop swallowing your pain every time their name comes up. You have always been the stabilizer. You are the empath with a heart far too pure for the matrix they operate in. You acted as a human battery for people who only knew how to take. They plugged into your pure energy and drained you dry. They consumed your grace and offered you absolutely nothing but confusion in return. You gave them your deep loyalty. You held their secrets and protected their fragile egos from the harsh light of truth. But they looked at your pure devotion and labeled it as a weakness. They threw you away when they felt fully charged. They thought you were just an ordinary source of supply. But here is the raw truth they could never say out loud. You were never just a regular person in their life. You are the irreplaceable diamond they threw into the dirt. They tried to replace your specific frequency with cheap rocks. And now they are choking on the dust of their own terrible decisions. The fatigue you feel is proof of your elevation. Your body is doing heavy work. You are shedding the toxic residue they left behind in your energy field. Your cells are physically purging the manipulation you endured for so long. It is an exhausting process, but it is a strict divine mandate from above. The universe is forcing your body to rest. You are about to step into your permanent, untouchable power. You are no longer waiting in wound for an apology from a master manipulator. That dark chapter is entirely closed. Heaven has already signed the firm eviction notice on their access to your precious energy. Every sudden brain fog this week meant something. They were obsessing over your memory. Every time your stomach tied into knots, they were frantically trying to stalk your digital footprint. They cannot sleep. Your silence is deafening. Your absolute refusal to engage is starving their deepest demons. Stay with me, chosen one. Do not look away. The X-ray of their current reality is about to get much more detailed. I am going to show you exactly how your silence became a lethal weapon. I will reveal the exact moment they realized their massive mistake. It is the biggest regret of their mortal existence. Your left brain might try to inject doubt right now. It will tell you they are perfectly happy without you. It will whisper that the lies they spread have become the accepted truth. Silence that accusing voice immediately. The matrix programming wants you to feel small, but your cellular intuition knows the absolute truth of your victory. You have carried this invisible burden for far too long. People look at you and see a strong warrior, but they do not see the crushing exhaustion you hide behind your brave smile. The heavy weight resting on your chest is completely real, and every morning you drag yourself out of bed while your limbs feel like heavy lead. Listen to me right now, because you are absolutely not crazy. The medical world would try to label your exhaustion as a simple breakdown. They would tell you to take a pill and just try to sleep. But human medicine cannot cure a deep spiritual drain, because your body is physically reacting to a massive energetic assault from the dark matrix. You operated as a human battery for a dangerous parasite. They scanned the crowded room and saw your immense glowing light. They recognized you as the ultimate stabilizer because your pure frequency is incredibly rare. They latched onto your spirit to power their own dark matrix. You gave them absolutely everything, and they took it without any hesitation. Every single time you listened to their endless drama, you transferred your vital energy. They dumped their deep insecurities onto your strong shoulders and walked away feeling completely refreshed. Meanwhile, you were left shaking and drained in the dark. They treated your sacred energy like an endless free buffet, while you starved for basic human decency. Heaven sees the massive toll this unfair exchange took on your physical vessel. You were severely depleted simply because you loved too purely. If your spirit confirms this raw truth, gently press the like button to seal your energetic alignment with heaven. You must actively protect your holy frequency from further theft before they try to return. Now, let me completely reframe your entire reality right here and right now, because the enemy desperately wants you to stay permanently stuck in that victim mindset. They want you to believe that your current exhaustion means they somehow won the battle, but the exact opposite is happening in the spiritual realm today, and their entire foundation is violently shaking. Your silent departure was the most lethal weapon you could ever possibly deploy. You probably did not realize the magnitude of your power at the time. You thought walking away was just an act of basic survival, but your sudden absence completely severed their primary oxygen supply, and you permanently cut the toxic energetic cord tying you to their chaos. They are slowly suffocating without your pure light to sustain their false image. An energy vampire simply cannot survive when the ultimate food source suddenly unplugs from their matrix. Their entire fabricated persona requires your constant validation to stay inflated, and you permanently closed the heavy door on their supply, leaving them completely stranded in their own miserable darkness. Look at how you are miraculously transforming Chosen One. Despite the heavy spiritual warfare you endured, you are practically glowing. Your ageless glow is returning because your rich energy is finally circulating back into your own vessel. You are no longer bleeding out for someone who never once appreciated your immense worth, and heaven is restoring your stolen vitality. While you are slowly regaining your vibrant color, they are rapidly decaying. The toxic bile they used to project onto you is now actively poisoning their own bloodstream. They look in the mirror and see the terrifying emptiness of their true reflection. The mirror they tried to hide from is finally shattering into dust, exposing their hollow core to the world. You are the ultimate cycle breaker heaven has been waiting for. You bravely refused to participate in their generational curse of abuse and manipulation. They tried to drag you down into their miserable low frequency, but your dense diamond essence was far too strong to be crushed by their cheap tactics, and you rose above the dirt like absolute royalty. They are now completely trapped in the very cage they maliciously built for you. You must understand that their perceived power was always a total hoax. They borrowed your majestic authority and paraded it around as their own glorious creation. Without your constant backing, they are completely naked and shivering in the dark, desperately searching for a new host. This brings us to a critical distinction that eludes the vast majority of normal people, because the silent meltdown they are experiencing is not just internal anymore. The ugly cracks are finally showing to the outside world. Keep listening closely, because the X-ray of their very public collapse will absolutely shock you and vindicate every tear you ever shed. Take a very deep breath and release the heavy tension in your jaw right now. The thick fog in your brain is about to lift completely. You bravely survived the brutal incubation season. Your profound exhaustion was simply the necessary cocoon phase before your massive divine elevation. And your ultimate public victory is waiting just around the corner. You did not lose anything valuable when they finally walked away. You merely dropped a massive parasitic weight that was holding you back from your true destiny. The divine alignment is finally restoring your stolen power right now. You are stepping into a dimension of supreme wealth and peace they can never hope to access, because you are permanently protected. Let me completely reframe your reality right now. Society told you that walking away was an act of surrender. They whispered that your silence meant you were too weak to fight back. But society is completely blind to the deep spiritual laws governing this universe, and they will never understand your power. You did not run away from the battlefield. You simply starved the enemy by removing their only source of fuel. Listen to me very closely right now, because 99% of people completely miss this massive shift. The concept of going no contact is never about hiding in fear. Your silence is a highly advanced and lethal weapon of spiritual warfare. It is the absolute highest form of dominance you can exert over a parasite. You cut off their oxygen supply in one single motion. An energy vampire requires constant chaos to keep their false matrix alive. They need you to scream and cry and defend your precious honor. Every single time you reacted in the past, you handed them a golden crown. You validated their twisted delusion that they held ultimate power over your emotions, but your sudden majestic silence shattered that delusion forever. They frantically poked at your boundaries, hoping for just one drop of your light. They deployed their flying monkeys to gather any reaction they could find. They laid desperate traps all over the digital realm to trigger your anger, but you remained still like a massive stone wall against their storm. Your absolute refusal to engage is a divine eviction notice. They cannot appeal, and heaven has signed the paperwork on their defeat. They expected you to beg for basic closure. They wanted you to wait in wound for an apology that would never, ever arrive. But you stepped into your rare identity and completely walked off their miserable stage. You took all the bright stage lights and the entire audience with you. Now they are forced to perform their miserable little play in an entirely empty room while nobody claps for them. Your silence is deafening, and it is driving them absolutely insane. They are frantically checking their screens and waiting for you to break. They assume you are suffering in the dark, just like they are, because their hollow matrix programming cannot comprehend a pure soul that finds supreme peace in total isolation, and they project their own bitter loneliness onto you. Your peace is completely terrifying to a demon that feeds on drama. You are the true cycle breaker of your ancient bloodline. You recognized the toxic pattern and you destroyed it with your powerful restraint. That divine restraint was never a weakness at all. That single act of choosing your dignity over your cheap revenge signed their permanent death warrant in the unseen spiritual realm today. Heaven watched you hold your tongue and immediately dispatched your massive reward. They are choking on the toxic fumes of their own desperate lies. You are currently resting safely in your high divine alignment. They have to live with the agonizing knowledge that they threw away a rare diamond. They traded your pure, loyal energy for cheap surface-level validation from random strangers, and the absolute tragedy of their foolish choice is finally hitting their nervous system today. They are currently searching the entire world for your replacement. They are desperately trying to plug their empty battery into new people, but nobody else carries your specific and irreplaceable diamond frequency. The new people they find are shallow and completely empty inside. They quickly realize that replacing the glorious sun with a cheap flashlight is a terrible strategy, but it is far too late for them to fix it. You won the massive war without lifting a single physical finger. The universe fought the brutal battle on your behalf because you trusted the divine mandate. You allowed heaven to serve the cold justice they so deeply deserve. Your powerful silence transferred the heavy burden of bad karma entirely onto their shoulders, and they are now carrying the crushing weight of everything they did to you. I need you to physically claim this incoming miracle right now. Type 777 below if you feel this massive shift today. You are locking in your high frequency and anchoring this truth. Do not let the enemy convince you to stay entirely passive today. You must take physical action to seal this powerful spiritual revelation before the Matrix tries to steal it away from your mind. Their fake mask is actively melting right off their panicked face. The loyal flying monkeys are starting to ask very uncomfortable questions about their erratic behavior. The false narrative they built is rapidly running completely out of vital fuel. They are entirely backed into a tight corner of their own foolish making, and the deep desperation they feel is about to leak out for everyone to clearly see, ruining the pristine reputation they worked so hard to maintain. Watch what happens next, because it is mathematically precise. The total collapse of a master manipulator always happens in 3 very specific stages. You have already witnessed the silent internal panic unfolding behind the scenes, but the upcoming public explosion is the exact vindication you have been waiting for, and it will finally expose their true dark nature to the world. Keep your attention locked right here. I will now expose the first terrifying stage of their absolute ruin. Listen to me very closely right now, because 99% of people completely miss this massive shift. Heaven is now releasing 3 specific stages of their internal collapse. And the third stage is absolutely the critical revelation, because it holds the exact key to your total vindication against the dark matrix. Let us examine the first stage of their brutal downfall. This is called the phantom hunger. They initially thought replacing you would be incredibly easy. They walked into new rooms looking for another human battery to drain, but they quickly discovered a terrifying truth when they realized that everyone else is completely shallow compared to your massive light. You were the profound depth they secretly craved, but could never understand. Every new person they try to plug into falls entirely short. The new supply lacks your pure empathy. They lack your intense spiritual fire. And this is when the agonizing realization finally hits their nervous system, because they threw away the only genuine soul that ever truly loved them unconditionally. Now they are starving in a desert of their own making. The phantom hunger keeps them awake at 3 in the morning. They desperately scroll through your old messages, trying to absorb any residual energy. But the energetic cord is completely severed, and you are heavily protected by a divine shield now. Their dark frequency simply cannot reach your high vibration anymore. This brings us to the second terrifying stage of their meltdown. The heavy mask of illusion begins to crack. For years they managed to maintain a pristine image for the public. They relied entirely on your silent grace to cover up their massive flaws. You were the stabilizer that kept their chaotic world looking perfectly normal to everyone else looking from the outside. But you are no longer there to clean up their toxic messes. Without your bright light to blind the audience, the dark shadows are showing. The flying monkeys are starting to notice the strange inconsistencies in their stories. People are asking where you went, and every time your name is mentioned, a wave of absolute panic washes over their completely hollow heart. They have to constantly invent new lies to explain your sudden absence. But building a fake reality takes a massive amount of mental energy. They are sweating profusely behind closed doors, trying to keep the false narrative from collapsing. The sheer exhaustion of faking a perfect life is rapidly aging them, while you are aging backwards and stepping into your true power. You are walking in an untouchable, ageless glow. Your peace is completely authentic because you have absolutely nothing to hide. They look at your quiet strength and feel a sickening level of envy. You did not just survive their brutal manipulation. You used their toxic pressure to transform into a permanent diamond that is now blinding their fragile eyes from afar. Type 777 in the comments right now. You must physically claim this incoming miracle and lock in your frequency. The Matrix wants you to doubt your supreme worth today, but heaven commands you to recognize your royal identity immediately. You are an irreplaceable masterpiece, and the universe is actively punishing anyone who treated you like an ordinary option. The first two stages are already tearing their false matrix apart. The hunger and the cracking mask are daily torture for them. But the third stage is where the dynamic fundamentally shifts forever. This third revelation is the exact moment they lose their mind completely. It is the absolute peak of their internal nightmare and the beginning of your greatest triumph. I am going to reveal the third stage shortly, but you must hold your sacred ground until I do. Do not let your human empathy trick you into feeling sorry for their current misery. They earned every single drop of this heavy karma. Your only job right now is to stay completely elevated in your divine alignment while heaven fights the entire battle for you. You are the chosen one. You carry a specific and irreplaceable gravity that makes time itself look like a massive fool. They tried to bury your beautiful light under their heavy insecurities, but they became the very shovel that dug up your ultimate treasure. You are rising higher than they could ever possibly reach, because the spiritual gap between you two is now permanent. Prepare your mind for what comes next. The third stage of their internal collapse is incredibly dark. It is the terrifying realization of their own total insignificance without your light. I will break down this final stage and show you exactly why they are currently obsessing over your every move. Stay entirely focused on this transmission because the ultimate vindication is finally here. We have arrived at the third and final stage of their internal collapse. Stay with me because this next revelation is the absolute key to everything. This is the stage of total ego destruction, the terrifying moment when they finally realize you are never coming back. They are not just missing your presence anymore. They are actively grieving the massive loss of their own stolen power. Without your pure energy to feed on, their internal matrix is completely starving. They look in the mirror and finally see the hollow parasite staring back at them. The heavy realization that they are absolutely nothing without your light is crushing their fragile ego. The profound silence you gifted them is echoing violently inside their completely empty head. They are obsessively comparing themselves to you right now, and the absolute truth is making them incredibly sick to their stomach. They spent years actively trying to drain your life force. They truly expected the deep betrayals and constant isolation to carve heavy wrinkles into your face. They wanted your eyes to lose that signature brilliant spark forever, but instead you walked straight through their toxic fire and came out glowing. The universe completely reversed your biological clock while you were healing. You are currently stepping into a permanent and untouchable ageless glow. Your skin is clearing. Your energy is incredibly light. You look younger and significantly brighter than you did when you were trapped in their miserable presence. Nothing makes a narcissist sicker than watching their victim thrive. They are checking your profile and staring at your radiant photos in absolute disbelief. They are frantically trying to figure out how you cracked the code. They cannot comprehend how you survived the heavy spiritual warfare they inflicted upon you. Your absolute joy is completely terrifying to their dark matrix. While you are radiating pure light, they are aging terribly like milk left in the hot sun. The thick bitterness and heavy envy are taking a massive physical toll on their vessel. Their skin is graying, their eyes are entirely hollow and completely devoid of any real life. They look incredibly tired because maintaining a fake persona is severely exhausting without your energy. They see you making massive moves in complete silence. You are attracting pure wealth and divine opportunities effortlessly. The heavy doors they tried to slam shut on you are being kicked wide open by heaven. Your frequency is absolutely magnetic. The universe is heavily rewarding your pure heart and your unshakable integrity, while they are stuck repeating the exact same miserable cycles with entirely new people. They are trying to fake their happiness to the outside world. They post heavily filtered photos to maintain the silly illusion, but the people close to them can see the deep desperation in their eyes. The energy is incredibly dense and heavy around them. They are a sinking ship, and the loyal flying monkeys are starting to silently look for the nearest available exit. You did not just survive time, chosen one. You completely bent it to your will. The heavy trauma was supposed to age you and break your spirit entirely, but your dense diamond essence completely repelled their dark magic. You transmuted their toxic poison into pure golden fuel. You are a demonstrated warrior of light, and your absolute victory is completely undeniable today. They are secretly wishing they could turn back the clock. They would give absolutely anything to have one more chance to steal your massive light. But the spiritual gap between your two frequencies is now permanently fixed. You are vibrating in the high dimensions of supreme peace and immense wealth. They are completely locked out of your sacred reality forever. Your presence was the only thing giving them any real status. You elevated them simply by standing next to them. You made them look incredibly good to the entire world. And now the stark contrast is heavily exposing their massive mediocrity. They are terrified that the world is finally going to see them as the absolute fraud they truly are, without you there to hide them. This brings us to the tipping point. The heavy internal pressure is becoming entirely unsustainable. The dark secrets they tried to hide are actively boiling to the surface. Their completely fake narrative is starting to aggressively leak from the edges. The loyal flying monkeys are getting incredibly suspicious of their erratic and extremely paranoid behavior. The private meltdown is about to breach the heavy public dam. The silent panic is finally transforming into a massive public spectacle. The mask is completely slipping in front of the exact people they tried so hard to impress. The heavy karma they accumulated is finally coming to collect the massive debt they owe you. Prepare your spirit for the absolute climax. The raw truth they could never say out loud is finally coming out. You must remain incredibly still in your high vibration. Do not let your human empathy trick you into saving them from the fire they lit themselves. Heaven is demanding your complete stillness. The X-ray of their public ruin is about to be fully revealed. Watch closely as the universe delivers absolute justice. Now I need you to imagine this exact scenario happening behind their closed doors. The perfectly crafted narrative they sold to the world is actively crumbling today. The loyal flying monkeys are standing in the very same room, and they are finally watching the heavy mask slip off the terrified parasite hiding underneath. For years, these enablers blindly believed every single lie the manipulator told about your character. They actively participated in your painful isolation because they were completely hypnotized by a dark spell. But your sudden majestic silence broke that spell entirely, and now they are looking at the narcissist while realizing the terrible truth. The manipulator is desperately trying to keep the massive lie alive right now. They are spinning wild new stories to explain why you walked away, but the stories are entirely inconsistent, and the crowd is getting highly suspicious. People are starting to ask very direct questions, and every single question hits the narcissist like a sharp physical blow to their fragile ego. Type 777 in the comments right now to physically claim your immense power. You must anchor your high frequency before we cross into the final revelation. Because the energetic shift happening in their social circle is massive, and the very people who once judged you are now secretly realizing your immense worth. They know you were the true victim. The crowd remembers how incredibly calm and graceful you always were during the storm. They compare your pure light to the erratic and paranoid behavior the narcissist is currently displaying, and the stark contrast is completely undeniable to everyone watching. The manipulator is sweating and stumbling over their own toxic words. They are rapidly losing their tight grip on the audience. The flying monkeys are slowly backing away from the rapidly sinking ship. They can feel the chaotic energy radiating from the manipulator, and absolutely nobody wants to be collateral damage when the entire fake matrix finally explodes. So they are silently stepping back and leaving the narcissist alone on the stage. The deep isolation they planned for you is now theirs. This is the exact divine justice heaven promised you from the very beginning. The narcissist can sense the crowd turning completely against them, and they feel the thick paranoia creeping up their neck every time they enter a crowded room. They know people are whispering about their spectacular downfall behind their back. The heavy paranoia is driving them absolutely crazy. They try to lash out at the crowd to regain their stolen control today, but anger only exposes their dark, demonic nature even further, and the more they scream and demand blind loyalty, the faster the enablers run away. You were the only person who ever tolerated their toxic tantrums with pure grace. Your total absence is magnifying their terrible behavior for the world to see. They are publicly frantic and desperately searching for a new human battery. They try to parade new shallow friends around to make you jealous, but the crowd sees right through the incredibly cheap illusion they are desperately trying to project. Everyone knows the new supply is absolutely nothing compared to your rare diamond essence. The manipulator looks incredibly foolish and utterly pathetic. Stay with me, because this next revelation is the absolute key to everything. The pressure cooker is violently screaming, and the heavy lid is about to blow completely off because the narcissist has absolutely nowhere left to hide their hollow core. The walls of their fake kingdom are rapidly caving in. Heaven is forcing them to stand trial in the court of public opinion. You do not have to defend your precious name against their lies anymore. The universe is clearing your beautiful name in the exact rooms where you were falsely crucified, and the flying monkeys who once threw stones at you are now drowning in heavy regret. They finally understand that they chased away the brightest sun their miserable group had ever seen. The truth is undeniable. The manipulator is choking on the thick ash of their burned bridges. They are looking around and realizing they have nobody left to manipulate, while the profound emptiness they tried to project onto you has completely consumed their own reality. Their pulse is racing, and their vision is completely blurring. The terrifying public collapse is no longer just a distant threat. We are standing at the absolute edge of the massive cliff right now. The climax you have been waiting for is about to drop with massive force, so you must breathe deeply and hold your high vibration steady against the storm. The enemy is about to fall straight into the dark pit they specifically dug for you. Watch closely as the universe delivers the final blow. Let the matrix crumble into dust while you shine forever in your divine alignment. The heavy curtain is finally falling on their pathetic performance, and the massive audience is walking out the door while demanding their wasted money back. You are the ultimate cycle breaker, and your glorious vindication is arriving. Prepare your spirit, because the narcissist is completely out of time. And here is the absolute verdict we promised you at the very beginning. The massive public collapse you were waiting for is finally happening right now, and it is unfolding in the exact room where they used to gossip about your precious name. The universe has set the stage for their ultimate public humiliation. The spotlight is blinding them completely. Imagine the cinematic scene unfolding right before your eyes. The room is crowded with the very people they tried to impress with their fake matrix. Someone asks a very simple question about your sudden departure. The narcissist opens their mouth to tell another familiar lie, but the dark spell is already broken and their words fall completely flat. The heavy mask does not just slip off their face, it completely shatters into 1,000 sharp pieces for everyone to witness. Their jaw tightens and their breathing becomes incredibly erratic and shallow. They stammer over their words while thick sweat forms on their forehead, and the smooth operator is suddenly malfunctioning like a completely broken machine. The crowd watches in absolute horror as the real monster is fully exposed. The narcissist tries to project their toxic anger to regain control of the room. They raise their voice and frantically point fingers to distract the audience, but the wild desperation in their eyes is completely undeniable to every single person standing there, and the terrifying truth can no longer be hidden from the world. This is the exact moment their entire false reality violently implodes. They look around the room expecting the loyal flying monkeys to rush to their defense, but the enablers are stepping back in total disgust and heavy silence. Nobody is willing to protect a sinking ship that is taking on water this incredibly fast. They are completely abandoned by their own followers. The heavy gravity of their massive mistake hits them all at once. They realize they threw away a rare diamond just to play with cheap rocks in the dirt. The agonizing weight of your absence crashes down on their fragile nervous system. They are publicly unraveling, and they have absolutely no power to stop the heavy bleeding, while the entire crowd watches their pathetic empire crumble to the ground. They actually end up defending your honor by pure accident. In their frantic attempt to explain why you left, they accidentally reveal your pure grace. They admit that you tolerated their terrible behavior longer than anyone else ever could. The crowd instantly realizes that you were the true victim of this entire dark dynamic, and the vicious lies they spread are finally exposed as pure projection. Your silent departure did not just hurt their fragile ego, it permanently ended their toxic reign of terror over that specific social circle. The people who once doubted you are now seeing your immense power clearly. The universe is clearing your beautiful name while you rest safely in your high divine alignment, and you are completely vindicated before the eyes of heaven and earth. The narcissist is completely drowning in the noisy chaos of their own making. They are frantically searching the faces of the crowd for a new human battery to drain, but everyone sees the dangerous parasite hiding beneath the pathetic human suit. Their access to pure light is entirely revoked by a strict mandate from heaven, and they are condemned to wander the dark matrix alone for the rest of their days. You won this massive spiritual war without lifting a single physical finger. Your silence was a lethal weapon that starved their deepest demons into total submission. They are standing in a crowded room, but they have never been more completely alone. The thick isolation they maliciously planned for you has become their permanent prison, and they are suffocating in the terrible darkness they created. Every lie they told is actively burning their own tongue today. The dark karma they accumulated is physically crushing their shoulders right now. They can barely stand under the heavy weight of their own terrible decisions. The absolute panic they feel is the exact physical validation you have been waiting to receive, and heaven is delivering it to you on a silver platter. Let the glorious reality of this cinematic moment sink deep into your spirit. The fake kingdom has completely fallen, and the wicked ruler is fully dethroned. You are watching the spectacular destruction of the very matrix that tried to consume you. Your ultimate vindication is no longer a distant dream because it is happening right here, and the massive spiritual victory belongs entirely to you. Heaven promised you a front row seat to their spectacular ruin, and the universe always delivers absolute justice to the chosen ones who hold their sacred ground. The enemy is thoroughly defeated, and your glowing aura is permanently protected from their reach. Step fully into the radiant sunlight of your absolute triumph, because the dark night is officially over and your beautiful season of harvest has arrived. Breathe out the heavy tension you have been carrying for years. The massive spiritual war is officially over today. You walked into this season bleeding from deep wounds inflicted by people totally blind to your immense worth. But look at you now. You have completely transcended their dark and toxic matrix forever. You are no longer waiting in wound for a fake apology. While they are publicly unraveling in their own chaos, you are stepping into your permanent, ageless glow. Your spiritual exhaustion is entirely gone. The heavy financial struggles and the closed doors are completely shattering right here and right now. Step fully into your absolute power. Heaven has cleared your beautiful name in every single room. You are the cycle breaker your entire bloodline desperately needed. You stood firmly in the terrifying dark, and you became the brilliant SUN. The universe is heavily rewarding your pure heart and your unshakable integrity today. Receive the exact harvest heaven prepared specifically for you, but you must anchor this massive victory into your physical reality today. Because the verdict of explosive abundance has already been signed in heaven, but it strictly requires a physical act of obedience on earth to activate. The window of divine multiplication is standing wide open right now. You must prove you are completely ready to receive it. God does not measure your faith by your silent thoughts. He measures your deep devotion by your exact speed of obedience. The dark elite want you to hesitate and miss this massive portal. Do not let the matrix steal your ultimate blessing today. You must physically align your energy with this powerful prophetic instruction before the window closes forever. Share this specific message with one pure soul who is desperately crying out in the dark for a shift. Be their guiding angel today. And subscribe to this sacred sanctuary immediately so you never miss the exact prophetic instruction heaven releases next. We are building an untouchable global army of cycle breakers, and you are a vital leader here. Now we must completely seal this divine covenant with a physical sacrifice. Heaven demands your immediate obedience to unlock the massive financial harvest waiting for you. Your generosity instantly triggers the divine multiplication process. Sow your financial seed today to physically partner with this massive divine mandate. Watch heaven multiply it rapidly. Give a super thanks right now to plant your faith directly into this fertile soil. Your human left brain will try to inject doubt and tell you to hold back your seed. Silence that miserable accusing voice immediately. That hesitation is the exact matrix programming designed to keep you broke and entirely trapped in their low frequency. Break free today. If your spirit is vibrating with a cellular knowing right now, heaven demands your immediate action. Give your best seed to lock in the supreme wealth frequency permanently. You did not survive the brutal fire just to live a mediocre and quiet life. You were chosen to inherit the absolute highest level of divine prosperity available on this earth. Every single dollar you sow today is a physical brick in your new, untouchable fortress. You are buying back your stolen time and restoring your depleted energy. The enemy is terrified of what happens when you finally combine your spiritual purity with massive financial power. They know you will be absolutely unstoppable when the harvest fully arrives. Do not wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow belongs to the matrix. Take bold physical action right now. Type the words, "I am free," in the comments to publicly claim your total victory over the parasite. Your confident words are powerful spells that permanently banish their dark energy from your sacred space. Let the entire world know you survived the storm. The universe is sending massive waves of pure golden light to wash over your tired body right now. Feel the heavy chains falling completely off your weary shoulders. You are a demonstrated warrior of light, and your majestic crown is permanently secured. Nobody can ever steal your divine birthright again, because you are heavily guarded by angels today. Walk forward into your new glorious season with absolute confidence. The enemy has been completely defeated, and their pathetic memory will fade into nothing. You are the irreplaceable diamond heaven carefully crafted in the deep dark. Keep shining your brilliant light, and never let a cheap parasite dim your glorious radiance ever again. You are fully free. Your magnificent journey of pure vindication is finally complete today. The dark season of silent suffering is officially closed and sealed forever. You are standing on the highest mountain of absolute triumph, while your enemies wander aimlessly in the barren desert. Heaven is loudly applauding your unshakable faith and your beautiful, pure heart.